Hello, and welcome to the AusComX show. I am Sizzle, as they call me, the comics dude. I've just put that extra bit there for people to know. And I'm here with Morgan Quaid. And today we are going to be talking to the lovely gang who are behind Lana Leuka. We've got Lauren Marshall, Tanya Beeson, and Kayleen Harris. And let's get on with the show and have a chat.
Hey!
Hello, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Hello. Hi. Thanks for having us.
Welcome.
Hi.
So are we kicking right into it? No preface, straight in?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. So we're here to talk about the Lana Leuka. Kickstarter campaign number 2 is up and running right now. It's close. It's super close, so 6 days to get in and support. We're going to talk more about the campaign as we go and about the wonderful people behind it who are now part of our chat. So why don't we do a bit of a around the grounds and we'll just go who you are, where you belong, and what part of the Lana Leuka crew you are, what role you've got, all that sort of stuff. That was a really roundabout way of saying introduce yourself.
Still got there.
We'll start with you, Lauren, because you're up the top of my screen. So let's start with you.
Hi. Everybody probably knows me already. Drink and draw and all that shenanigans. Lauren Marshall. I was sort of created Lana many years ago and got these lovely ladies on board, but I'm a traditional comic book artist, also dabble in digital as well, but yeah, I'm basically just a mad dog that just likes to draw, so that's my life. I'll throw it to Kayleen. She can introduce herself as well.
Hi, I'm Kayleen. I predominantly live in the webcomics world, in Webtoon, doing that. But I am the colorist for Lana Leuka. Lauren brought me on board when I was just getting into comics and drawing comics and so on. Yeah.
Cool. Very good. Tanya.
Hi, I'm Tanya Beeson. I'm a digital artist / animator, and I am the writer for Lana Leuka and myth weaver.
Oh, fancy. So I was going to say I have questions, but yeah, you keep going about myths and such. But keep going.
I have no train of thought. I just make sounds occasionally and get distracted.
Sounds and words. Very good. Well, thank you all, and welcome to this well-oiled machine. So I have a few questions. So we might start. We might start on color because I'm endlessly fascinated by that, and then we might move to the story behind Lana Leuka because there's some really cool stuff there that we wouldn't mind digging into, but without giving too much away because we want people to back the campaign. So Kayla, I find it interesting also that everyone seems to draw in this group, and there seems to be an alarming amount of talent involved, which is really.
I keep them close, cool. Morgan, like for reason.
I was going to say, it's very clever, really, very clever. So Kayleen, let's talk about the colors. Now, last time we had Lauren on, she spoke a fair bit about color and color theory and all that sort of stuff. It was super interesting. We know that there's a specific palette, purple anyone, within the Lana Leuka world, but there's also quite a bit of differentiation between different aspects of the comic and so on. Tell us about how you went about putting together the color palette and, that stuff.
Yeah, well, my starting point when I first started, when I was given page 1 of Lana Leuka and just given the instruction to go for it, here's a reference, she's purple. I set everything around that and just the time of day. So just making sure that whatever colors I choose for the environment look natural but blend well with Lana's more unnatural colors, so she fits into the world. And also time of day as well. So say when it moved into evening, when they were under the street lamps and so on, that's when I really got to play with the lighting, the purples, contrasting that against golds and bronzes and oranges and so on.
Right, more night scenes.
And there's a difference between some of the characters being a little bit flatter, I suppose, with colors. Is that correct?
Yeah, not quite monochrome, but certainly not as colorful as everything else. So my approach there was to begin with, sort of just blocking in what the color values would be. So the difference between lights and darks, basically, and then giving it a little bit of a sepia tint, but not going overboard. So they do still match the world, but they look a little bit off as they're supposed to.
Yeah, that was one of the things I remember when I first read the first issue that I noticed straight away, and it's just so subtle, but you know something is different, and it's sort of sets it apart. Really, really cool. Really cool. Colors are awesome. Kids, go out and get some colors. If you don't have any, you get some. Thank you very much. Okay, so Tanya, why don't you? It's an interesting proposition to be presented with an existing character and then sort of write a story that they, the world that they're part of and all that sort of stuff. So I suppose how did you come up with that?
I wrote around the basic framework that Lauren gave me. So she gave me Lana, Dee, and Chase, and said, come up with something that ties all this together. And she had a general idea of relationships, and that's been expanded, and we've workshopped a little bit of how each character is connected with each other. But yeah, it was a fairly simple framework, so I've had a lot of freedom to go for it, as Kaylin said.
And was it fairly, once you got into it, was it fairly easy, or were there a few things that you agonized over and had to really think through or fight for?
I generally throw ideas around back and forth, and Lauren and I have both essentially talked through each of the 2 issues so far, and the plots going into the future, and workshop them. And I just throw ideas down, and Lauren gives me her opinion of them, and I will adjust if something more interesting comes out of the conversation.
Very good, thank you. So I suppose while we're still on that, and Lauren, you can chime in on this one if you like. Explain for us, I know we've spoken about it before, but the world that Lana Leuka takes place in, because there's a few layers there, and for the uninitiated it can be a little bit not daunting, but there's more depth there than what you would think on the surface. It warrants more than one read, I'll put it that way. You don't get everything on the first read. You have to give a couple of passes. Yeah, so tell us about the world and how that was constructed.
Well, I suppose the world, the premise behind it was to make it seem so relatable. As we've always said, the world that you see within the book is something that could potentially be your own, whether you're living in the city or not. But it's very relatable and very familiar. But then you see the people who are muted, you see the different levels in terms of the characters, and then that creates different. It's an onion. You peel the onion, you keep seeing that.
Layers.
Layers. Yeah,
layers.
but we wanted to make it complex, but not something that was so oh God, that's too much. we wanted to make it seem intriguing, to seem interesting, and you want to delve in more and figure out what's going on. And in this part, I know that the first issue was quite slow, but I feel like if we did go any quicker in it, it just would have ruined the rest of the series. So it's good that people do understand that there's obviously more to it, and then there is little Easter eggs here and there about like, oh, what's that, and that how does that intertwine into the story. So it's more we're building up to something.
Right. Yeah, and I get the sense. So I've only seen a little bit of the artwork from issue 2, obviously on the Kickstarter campaign, and there's some really cool stuff in there. And I'm excited to see what it is, and how it all works, and how it kind of fits in. It might be wrong, but it feels like issue 2 takes a real plunge, or sort of digs into some of the things. Which I'm really excited about. Anyway, so that's just me as a fan. So from that. Sizzle, did you want to show some of the art? Have you got some of the artwork we can?
Yeah, I do actually.
From the campaign page or something.
It's all right.
Yeah,
and
man.
I am. Oh, my mouse isn't working. Hang on.
And while we're doing
so
that,
I've got this.
What?
Yes. Now, is that still issue 1, or is it? No, that's issue 2.
No, this is
That's
directly.
issue 2.
This is, think of it as page 23 from issue 1. So it's literally you finish the last page, you go onto this page, and this is the issue 2. So the idea behind doing these while they're single issues at the end, the idea is to be able to combine it all into one arc, and then being able to publish it as as a graphic novel.
Right.
But yeah, which is going to be interesting with the art developing, because each of us is sort of leveling up through the months and years. So,
that's all right.
All the colouring is just rim lights.
So let's do around the group. We'll start with you, Kayleen. What is the thing you like most about the story, the artwork, the process? What's the thing you like most about it?
Honestly, it's just a real treat colouring Lauren's line work in particular. Like, it's so much more. It gives you this real sense of volume, of 3D, of form. And when I'm colouring my own stuff, my sense of that comes through in my art is not as strong as Lauren's. So being able to lay down colours and then decide, okay, so the light's coming from here, and just have it abundantly obvious where all the shadows go, where I can place rim lighting, where I can do all of that. It's just, I love it. It's beautiful.
Wow. And so, let's do a bit of education as well. Rim lighting. Explain that to people.
In like sci-fi series where they have the light coming from behind the person and it shines like the outline of their head. My approach to coloring as of late has been, because I'm working on a sci-fi series in my own time, has just been to add that to literally everything. And it looks really, really pretty, and I love it.
Right. So is it like a top light with video production that comes down and... Anyway, I don't know what that is. Very good. That's awesome. Tanya, what's the thing that you love most about the project or the comic or anything?
I'm aside from the drawings, which are really nice, Lauren. Yeah, I really like being able to flex my weird, and like really
Nice.
throw the caution into the wind and come up with some strange ideas and like I was saying earlier, create a bit of a mythology around it, because I want it to be epic. I want it to be big, and I'm hoping everyone can start seeing that happen with issue 2.
Yeah. Fantastic. Very good. Lauren, what do you like? Is it the hours and hours and hours of work? Is that the thing?
Oh yeah, I've been working 9 to 5 every day. Yeah, I love it. Look, to be honest, it is a passion project. Obviously, it's sort of seeing a character being brought to life, but working in a collaborative team, like the energy that you get bouncing back and forth from them, it's something else.
That'd be cool.
It's just like I know I say go for it to them, but it's about giving creative freedom, and I feel like being able to see that flourish within the two of them and myself is great, because I feel like that's where the real gold comes from. And I don't think I know a lot of people do like to have a lot of creative control over their OP stuff and original character stuff, but I feel like if you're willing to trust someone and they thank you, and then you happy for them to give them feedback without being controlling, I find that the collaboration process and what becomes of it is phenomenal. So what I've seen come out so far is just awesome.
Cool. Thank you. Cool. Okay. So the
we have a question.
We've got a question. Cool. Okay.
It's a bit of a question. Tablets. Does everyone work on tablets for their art, their coloring, and their story?
I'm on a tablet.
We all holding up our pens. There we go. Actually, fun fact, I did all the inking for issue 1 by hand, and found it quite...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've still got all the pages here, but the amount of editing I had to do, it was a lot easier just to do it on the Cintiq. So I don't think I had a Cintiq back then anyway. So Kayleen's joining the Cintiq club.
Stretch goals for original art.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Collect the old scribbles from 3 years ago. Go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we might have a gift at the end of this show you can add to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was also very. I love Lauren's traditional line work. There's so much energy to it, but you can't use a fill bucket on it. When she switched to digital, I thought, good. I can just click and then
There is with any. I mean, maybe some people aren't like this, but I find with any form of art, there is this kind of risk reward with how much extra time is it going to take me to do this thing, and am I still going to be enthused by it if I do it this certain way? I can imagine that's the same with pencils and traditional ink. And sorry, Lee.
The finished product is completely different. Like, it just all depends what you want the final product to look like. My inking style traditionally is completely different to my digital style inking. I think you'd be able to tell a lot. Like, but in terms of getting it done, I feel like there's a lot of pressure for artists to make sequential work look like cover art or something. And I've shot myself in the foot and already started doing that. But just the level and the quality of work, and just not worrying, like setting the scene, awesome. It's super handy and obviously creates the atmosphere. But trying to get the work done, if you've got deadlines, you kind of have to make some sacrifices here and there. Covers and stuff, go to town. Like, make it absolutely epic. But yeah, when it comes to sequential work, it's about telling the story and making sure it's readable and enjoyable.
Yep.
Speed.
Well, we got another question come in. And this is by Alex, who's really big on meeting people in person. So he's asking, do you guys meet in person to collab, or do you all do it all online?
Half and half, I guess.
Half and half?
But me and Tanya like to get together because we like to do the post-it note trick, which tends to work quite well.
I'm not an online chat person because I always come across as angry and aggressive when I'm typing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm getting that vibe right now.
Yeah. Face-to-face is always better for me. And yeah,
if it's not face-to-face, it's vibes for like video call or whatever. But Kayleen, I just usually throw the inks at her, and then we catch up for a drink because both our partners know each other from years ago. So
nice.
We more hang out to eat food and get jolly.
Did you?
Nice.
Did you say get jolly?
Yeah. That's what alcohol does.
That's just cool. It's a bit of a nice phrase I haven't heard in I don't know since the 18th century. It's
we're pirates.
Get jolly, very good. So we know that you're all very talented and that you have a certain breadth of skill in terms of creative stuff. So let's talk a little bit about some of the other extracurricular stuff that you guys are into. So Kayleen, you were talking about Webtoons. So you've got webcomics that we can...
Yeah, I make one myself called Blue Star Rebellion. I can pull up like a little bit of it that nobody else has seen. Yeah.
Oh, exclusive.
That I'm currently working on. So,
So
that
nice.
used to be once every 2 weeks. It's probably going to be once every 3 for a bit while I work through the start of the teaching term, and all the other things that I have. But yeah, no, so I do that, and I'm one of the volunteer moderators for the Webtoon forum as well.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Cool.
okay.
Discord thing.
All right. And these are vertical comics. How many kind of panels would you do on an episode? I think is the
I
right term.
try to limit myself to between 18 to 22 if I can. That's a lot for 2 weeks, and my style's pretty time intensive. But the one I'm currently working on is 30 panels long. The longest one I've ever done that I did manage to get done in 2 weeks was something like 36. And if you're like a professional Webtoon creator, if you're being paid by the company to create their originals, then it's something like between 40 to 70 panels per week that you're supposed to be doing. So I need to speed up a lot.
Keep in mind, they don't have
That
full-time
is.
jobs.
That is it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. That sounds amazing, but also exhausting. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's full on. It's definitely full on, especially if you're working.
So Blue, I wrote it down. What was it called again?
Blue Star Rebellion.
Blue Star Rebellion. Okay, so people can get on and they can just search Blue Star Rebellion, or they can get onto Webtoon and find it there.
Yep. If you type Blue Star Rebellion into Google, it's the first thing that shows up.
Cool.
Ah, sweet.
Cool. All right.
Nice.
Tanya. So
Yes.
animation, you say? I hear
Yes.
you say. Tell us a bit about your history with animation and yeah.
Okay, a little bit of history with animation. I always aspired to be an animator as I was growing up, and so I'm going back that far apparently. And it was kind of known that there was no job opportunities in that area, so I went out and got various jobs, and I came across a news report. Well, my auntie came across a news report, and knowing that I draw a lot, and sent it to me, saying that the Film and Television Institute in Fremantle, which isn't there anymore, it's all been taken down. So they had an animation program, so I got into that, got involved, and I've been working on animation projects and teaching animation ever since, which has been really good. Yeah.
Cool. And what style of animation do you like most, or artwork do you like most?
Okay, well, in terms of style of animation, I'm a big fan of your classic 1950s Warner Brothers, Chuck Jones stuff. That's my, I love that. Really punchy and nice. But I'll watch most animations. I tend to go more for quirky and interesting rather than long-winded. I like my tunes to be tunes, really. If there's a coyote being flattened by a boulder, that's the kind of jam that I'm really behind. But in terms of my own work, mostly it's just client stuff and advertising and small amounts of commercial work, designs of characters for various things, and little web animations. Nothing standout. But my style of sketches you can find on One Woman's Ego on Instagram now. So,
right.
Yes, and you can follow me there. But now that I can put stuff on it.
Sorry, I'm just writing that down because you may not know this, but I'm big on the Instagram game. I'm not really that big, but I'm on Instagram. So yeah, very cool. All right, so One Woman's Ego on Instagram. Very cool. Very cool. Young Lauren.
Yeah.
So aside from Lana Leuka, we know that you do a lot of other artwork and other projects. What's something it's up to you. You can either just tell us anything that you would like, or maybe something you haven't shared before, a project, or
I actually.
Exclusive.
Yeah, okay. I wish.
sorry. I got excited.
I actually, my full-time job is actually as an illustrator and sales as well. So I work for a company called Short Batch Printing in Rockingham, WA. And we do hand screen printing on shirts for a lot of breweries, gyms, stuff like that. So if a client comes to us and they want some kind of cool design on a shirt, or I do a lot of like beer labels, stuff like that, like custom illustration of beer cans and stuff. But I think I've got like I do like can labels, stuff like that, full illustrations on those.
Wow.
I've done a few of them here and there.
So cool.
But like I think a lot of people think that if you're going to stick with comics, you're going to do comics, but no, use your talents to make some money somewhere. So expand out. But other than that, I'm just trying to get Lana done and chilling out for a little bit because I've always been so full on. I do have an issue for Noir coming out in April. So what's due in April, but it's coming out later. So I'll be doing 4 pages for that for ComX, and then I've also got another issue of Bolt to do later on. So that's pretty much me for the year. I'm trying to keep it low key, and hopefully, if we're lucky, another issue of Lana by the end of the year.
What?
Awesome.
Just low key, just 4 projects.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put it in writing. I'm just saying maybe it might happen.
Maybe, big maybe. Fair enough.
It would be great to be able to do Lana once every month or once every couple of months.
That'd be very cool.
It always comes down to that pesky artwork takes so long to do, it just
Only.
But there is one more project that we must mention. I love this project.
Oh yeah. So this is actually one of the back at one of the reward tiers that you can get. So my husband and I invested in a resin 3D printer, and I got this commissioned to be done. Got 3D modeled. So this is actually one of the rewards that you can get. Little resin statue. It's I've got it here, little one. These ones are unprimed, so they will come primed black. And you can paint them if you want to paint them, but they're pretty much just more of a collector's item, and we hand print them here, and so they're made with love and a lot of time.
And I will proudly say I backed that one because I got it as a gift for my partner. So
awesome.
Are you gonna paint it, Sizzle? Gonna get in with
I am not going to risk ruining it. No, that's not going to happen.
Just prime it again. You'll be right.
I had the same thought. Anytime I try and do like eyeballs on miniatures or something, just no, he's dead. He looks like a zombie.
And he's
just can't do it. All right, so couple of extra questions. What is your favorite type of protagonist or villain? What do you like in a hero or a villain?
Exactly.
And we'll go around to everyone, so I'll give you a bit of time to think about it. So as a surprise, I'm going to throw it to Sizzle. Sizzle, what do you like in a villain or a hero?
Villain or hero? We're going the full spectrum there, are we?
Well, you can pick one. Just pick one, just to give the ladies some time to think and to make you uncomfortable because I've thrown you a question you weren't expecting.
Yeah, you threw me a question when I was reading, so I wasn't expecting it at all.
Let's go villain. What's your favorite villain? What do you like in a villain?
Well, what I like is where I'll say who my favorite villain is. It's Magneto out of the X-Men. And what I like about him is he's a villain, but there's a part of you that sort of goes, is he right? Is what makes him bad? Is he really that bad? Is he just stepping over a line just slightly, and that's what makes him a bad guy, or is he actually fully bad? I like that it's not clear cut.
You like a bit of grey.
Yeah, I like a lot of grey.
Cool. Thank you, sir. Kayleen, what do you like? Either a hero or a villain. You can pick which one you want.
I'll go with villain. And I'm similar to Sizzle. I like a good villain redemption story. And my favorite villain of all time is Prince Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I love seeing like someone who's misguided, who is, selfish, who just doesn't quite understand why what they're doing is wrong or hasn't really thought about it or what have you, coming to terms with the fact that they were very mistaken and then figuring out how to right some of the wrongs that they've done. I really, really enjoy that in a villain. But obviously, if you're going to do that with one of your villains, you're going to need a bigger villain to back that up so the story has somewhere to go. So the thing that I like about like a big villain, one that doesn't get redeemed, is just having a really good motive, like having a believable motive and a believable personality to back that up. So be it they're narcissistic, or be it they're just very puritanical and misguided, but they don't come around, that kind of thing. Make them people, then make them evil.
Nice. Okay, Tanya, either a villain or a hero. Your choice.
I'm just gonna go with villain as well. But I like my villains to be iconic and Machiavellian, like giants and very big. So Darth Vader is that kind of mythic villain.
Yes.
And if they had any complexity to them, I kind of like my villains to be a little bit goofy as well. So characters like Hades from Disney's Hercules.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Right. Very good. Okay, we're 4 for 5 on villains. So
mine's a bit of a mixed bag though. I'm gonna say hero, but where it's a bit grey as well.
Right.
So think like The Mask, that kind of slapstick.
Yeah.
And he's just doing whatever he wants to do, but is he really doing the right thing? You don't actually know. That sort of stuff. Like I like the bit of complexity there.
Right.
Very cool.
Okay. So you all have a villain or a hero in mind. So we might as well. I normally ask this question about the story, but I think we're going to either run out of characters or it'll just be too difficult. So with the villain that you have in mind, standard question that for some reason we always ask, if you are in a car going through the McDonald's drive-through, they're in the back seat, what are they going to order? Yes, it's a stellar question with lots of
It's a stellar
levels.
question.
That's what the fans want.
It doesn't matter, because what Hades will have is he'll be annoyed with everyone else's order.
So he's just going to wait until everyone else gets their food and then start in on them.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Kayleen, I can't remember the airbender dude.
Prince Zuko. Crown Prince to the Fire Nation. He would, I don't know, does McDonald's do like spicy nuggets? I feel like he would like spicy food.
Fire. Yeah.
They do now, damn it.
I have before. It's like a limited thing, so gotta keep it.
Yeah.
With their Lana Leuka Happy Meals.
Oh yeah.
Get that cross-selling stuff going on. Lauren, I don't know how the hell are you going to answer for the mask, but
you know that scene where she comes out the door like he's like awful house landlord comes out and then his eyeballs spit out at her and his tongue goes everywhere. He'd probably just do that into the voice box, I would imagine.
Nice.
And then smash it with a giant hammer. That's just how it rolls. And then steal all the chicken nuggets.
Excellent answer.
Sizzle, what did you I can't remember what you said.
Magneto.
Yeah.
Anything with metal in it, I guess. So what's high and iron? High and iron, that'd be a quarter pounder.
More
Was eating ham like
A
these
double
burger
quarter
patties flying
pounder.
out the door.
Anything with metal in it would be good. Goodness me. Okay, thank you for indulging me in that one. So, what either dream job, or if there's someone in the industry or any industry related to creative arts who would be your sort of dream to work with on a project or work for on a project? You may go in any order that you wish.
Oh, can I just
Yeah.
start with this? Because two of the people that I idolize as artists, Drew Struzan and Larry Elmore, have both recently retired, and I'd be able to be able to work with them. No, it would, yeah. So those two would be great. They're two of my favorite artists. So everyone's looking up who they are.
They might come out of retirement for a special one-off something. You never know.
Yes, but in terms of comics, I really liked Tom Grummett's run on 90s Superboy.
Oh, okay. I'm unfamiliar, but comics is still relatively new to me, so I have an excuse. Very good. Okay, who else would like to?
Go, Kayleen. You got
Yeah.
this.
I just the one thing that I want to dedicate my time to more than anything in my life is just telling my stories. I've got so many stories of like all based in the same sort of massive extended universe in my head. So if there was one thing that I would absolutely love, it would be for any one of those, but I'll go with Blue Star Rebellion because it's the only one I'm making at the moment, to become a Webtoon original so I could get paid to make it and make it full time and not have to do anything else. No more teaching. Covering Lana Leuka when it
kids. Wow. Well, that's not beyond the realm of possibility. You know, that's a thing.
It happens to a lot of people. I'm not holding my breath. I want to try to monetize it on my own, but it would be amazing. So.
Wow. Yeah. Fantastic. All right, Lauren, what do you reckon?
Well, the animator inside of me, I would, even if I had just a day with, would be Glenn Keane, Disney animator. Very stuff is very recognizable. You'll see it. Yeah. Whoop, whoop. In terms of like a comic thing, I've always wanted to do like a turtle cover or a Sonic the Hedgehog cover. I would actually really like to do. Just because Sonic was probably one of the first characters I learned how to draw off by heart, and he's simple shapes and you can play with him quite a lot, which is awesome. But yeah, and I think just having the freedom to be able to create, I guess. I just feel like if you're stuck in a box, that would suck, and just still have that freedom.
Yeah. What was that? Something just made a noise.
Just the body in my cupboard.
Well, keep them under wraps. It's fine. It's fine. We don't hear sirens. We'll be right. So I was going to ask the next question, and then that thing happened, and the question went out of my head, which is, how is that? All right, we're going to have to. There you go, another fan of Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cecil, did you want to ask your patented one question for the whole show?
I have a patented one question.
Well, yeah, you know the deal where I ask 95 questions and you ask one. But in fairness, you run the technology and all that sort of stuff, so it's a fair deal. But did you want to ask a question, or you can take a pass if you want while I think of the question I was going to ask?
Oh wow. Okay, I love it when you put me on the spot like this. This is awesome because I have nothing prepared.
It's every week, dude. It's
every week. I know it's every week, and I still forget. I have to have one question, and I forget every week.
Just one. Every week. I leave it till really late in the piece, so you got heaps of time
about
to
it. My question is, why do you get me to ask questions, Morgan? Seriously, no.
To entertain, Sizzle.
To entertain, yes. Well, any what would you say is any what's what I'm looking for? Any snippets of information about the second one that you haven't told, or you have told, or we should know to really draw people into
About
the
Lana?
second issue? Lana, yes.
I think we mentioned in the drink and draw, but if somebody didn't catch that, there is a page that's on the Kickstarter that kind of is a little sneak peek into the expanding story. It kind of creates, it's a whole different vibe as well, because the color palette is completely different to what you would see. I mean, the palette's the same, but it's not the same. It's creating a different vibe. So that particular page is a good peek into where the story will go. And
so go to the link below, people, because that page is on the Kickstarter.
Make sure you back
itself.
it as well, or share. Just if you don't have the
Share,
dollars, just share away.
Even $1. Come on, get in there, throw it in there.
Even a cool handy.
If you support us, you'll get a comic book out of it.
Ooh.
Hey, there you go.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's pretty much, like, we don't want to give away too much because obviously they're only 22-page issues, so there's content in there that might slip up. But I think that particular page is sort of like what's going on, because there's nothing that related to it in the first issue. So.
And this is
I know the one you're talking about because of it, because it's so different than everything. I was like, is this the same comic? Wow.
It's such a cool page. I wanted to draw one of the figures in there, but I got a bit scared, so I ended up not. I'm gonna give it a try, and I just thought, no.
I think someone mentioned it had like Monkey Island vibes, and I was like, I like that. That's kind of, I love that.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, we got a question.
We do.
Oh, if we can get out of the state.
Yeah, we're stuck. We're all from Perth, FYI. We're kind of,
for everyone who runs a con, you pulled out of WA.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Always that angry.
There's been like a couple of like little cons here and there. There was like that pop-up one when Supernova got cancelled last year. There's was like a.
I remember hearing about that one.
The Comic Art Festival was really good, but alas, Comic Con has already cancelled March before even opening it up to applications. So that's not happening in March anymore.
Just now.
Yeah. And Supernova, I doubt, will come either. So we'll probably wait till next year if it happens.
Bugger.
2023, the year of
24.
We can travel again.
As soon as it happens, we'll be there.
Yep.
And we'll be as a group. So we're already planning.
Oh,
that.
awesome.
Oh, cool. Okay, final question, the most anticipated question of the night. We all know it's coming.
Oh, yes.
Favorite food, watching, favorite movie. What is it? Go, Kayleen.
I don't have a favorite food. I love too many different ones. I don't know. Are we going sweet? Are we going savory?
Yes.
Let's go savory.
Well, we can rephrase it. What's your favorite food to eat when watching your favorite movie?
Copious amounts of chocolate.
Nice.
Gulab jamun are really, really nice. They're those Indian sweets that are covered in like basically sugar syrup with like rose water and cardamom and
wow.
They're amazing. So that, and just sitting and watching. I don't really have a favorite movie either. I'm bad at picking favorites. Anything. But let's go gulab jamun while watching Kiki's Delivery Service.
Nice. That's a good mix.
Remind me to show you my hat and my bag at some point.
Okay, so Tanya, favorite food, watching, favorite film, TV, whatever.
Well, the favorite film. TV is different. But favorite film, Big Trouble in Little China. Classic John
choice.
Carpenter.
Nice.
And the food would be an awesomely hot chili on nachos.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hell
An
yeah.
explosive combination.
Oh,
That was
And
an
I
awesome
have-
answer. You knew about this question, didn't you? You knew.
I had one.
You were
You just
prepared.
I a little bit of an aside. I have spoken with the lightning baddie guy from that movie. I had a meeting with him about something
Nice.
previously, so I've met that guy, and yeah, it was
Lightning.
really cool. Yeah.
His character's
Yeah.
name's Lightning.
Yes,
So,
it was a simpler time. back
very
in the
cool.
80s.
Yes. Don't even give your characters names, your villains' names. Just give them
No.
characteristics. Yeah.
Baddie face person. Lauren, we've already asked this of you last time, but any
It's changed.
answer is fine.
it's changed. I'm going to
Oh, it's
go
changed.
with hot chips fresh out of the oven, or
Mm.
ordered, obviously, and Wayne's World 1 and 2.
Oh,
Nice.
very cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good combination.
Yeah.
And now I'm hungry again. Thank you very much. All right, so we're now at the gift section of the night.
I hang my head in shame.
We have a slightly smaller gift this time, but no less important until you see it. So Sizzle was a bit flat out this week, so he didn't get a chance to do it because he's slack.
Yeah, because he's slack.
So
He's very slack.
so we only have one for you, and this is my effort. I'll remind
Ready?
you, 10 minutes. No sketching, just draw it from what you see.
And I break that rule every time I do it, but here we go.
It's Dave!
Gee,
Nice.
good man.
That's,
And-
I love that.
Very cool.
And he's
Look at his big ass
holding
cigar.
a cigar. That's not his
Love it.
finger, it's a cigar. Just
Oh, it's a
You know.
cigar. Okay.
I got
Yeah,
cigar.
yeah.
Or
Oh,
he's
I
just
didn't.
pulling the finger, tried to.
I thought I did
With the
well
wrong
once,
finger.
and then
I like his jawline. It's awesome.
Yeah, you got the jawline like spot on. It's good
Can I
cut
tell you
somewhere
where I
in that.
started? I started with a jawline, and then
Yes.
it just went wrong from there, and everything kept getting worse. And then I went to the top of his head, and I thought that head's wrong. And then I ran out of paper. Anyway, it's
And then
I love
to
it.
distract
So
everyone
cool.
that I was slack, I brought this in. Wasn't me. I
Yay.
did everything I was meant to.
Yay.
damn
Thanks, Alex.
Very cool.
So cool.
animations. All right, cool. Well, thank you all very much. Is there anything final that you would like to say other than get out there, people, back the campaign? Let's get it over the line. Anything else you'd like to say before we go?
I just probably a huge appreciation not only to these fantastic women that I've been working with, but just everybody that's been supporting it. Like this time around's just been phenomenal. So super big appreciation and really grateful for everybody who's jumping on board. And I can't wait until we get this issue out in your hands because we can keep the story going, which is what we've been waiting for.
Yes.
Groovy.
Let's
Groovy.
get together and celebrate in 6 days' time.
Woo!
6 days. Get in, support.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you all very much. It's been a pleasure talking
you
with
very
you
much.
all. And now we're on to the review section, and I shudder to think, did we review? I reviewed something, so
Oh, you did.
I
Don't bring it
did.
out yet. We got to do the video first. Hang on, I got to find it.
All right.
Thank you very much for coming on, guys.
Thank you guys.
I'm
Thank you,
really
everyone.
looking forward to Lana Leuka 2, and I'm really looking forward to the little statue. That's freaking awesome. And yeah, thanks for coming on, and have a great night, guys.
Alright,
Girls,
thanks guys.
ladies.
See you guys.
Bye.
Cheers. And I am being slow again.
So
Woo! That was awesome.
that was pretty cool. Hey, hang on. I'm just gonna refocus.
I thought you were trying to high five me. I'm like, yeah.
Five. It won't focus on my face because it doesn't want to. That's to you, camera. So one thing that I wanted to raise, I've only just noticed it. We've been doing this show now. This is like our 8th show or something since it came back.
I'm not sure, but yeah.
I spelt my own name wrong on the intro credits.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I'm going to go back and fix that because I've put an I where there is no I. And I think it's Morgaine. It's not even the surname. It's the anyway.
Is it Morgan? I didn't even notice that.
I think it's Morgaine. Yeah, instead of
Morgaine. Okay,
instead
well,
of
yeah, Morgaine.
Yeah.
Okay, Morgaine. What did you review this week, Morgaine?
Well, I reviewed something that I didn't even realize who wrote this particular piece. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh,
Roy
nice.
Leuka. Dead or alive. So let me, here we go.
Lovely.
Artworks and such. Look at that. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. So, Hayden Spurrell and Ben Sullivan. So Ben did the artwork. Hayden did the writing. I didn't realize Hayden wrote this one.
Yeah, neither did I. That's cool.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. It's a really cool story. The artwork's fantastic. It's kind of your kind of classic-y Western sort of story, but with some dark, I don't know, pseudo Lovecraftian sort of themes underneath it. So there's some dark stuff going on that you don't really get it. You just get hints of them in issue 1, but I'm thinking that in further issues there'll probably be more that comes out.
Yep.
What I like most about this is I like the writing and the it's not predictable. So it goes down certain paths that you think, oh yeah, it's a Western, it's going to have this sort of thing. And I like the way that the main character and the kind of heroine that's part of the story, they don't act in the way that you're expecting them necessarily to act, which is really, really cool. And yeah, so it's just really, really, I like it. It's just a nice take, and the way that it's sort of put together, the story's put together. It's nice to read something that you're familiar with, but you don't know how it's going to end. That's really, really nice. And I am a sucker for anything with underlying, supernatural or dark kind of themes. And that is definitely here hinted at, but it just doesn't quite get to it through this part of the story. So I can't wait for the next sort of installments to see what happens. So yeah, that was my read of the week. Read of the week. We don't have a thing for that. That's not even a thing.
I thought you were saying read it and weep.
No, sorry. Read of the week.
Read of the week. Don't worry about me. I'm half deaf. It's all good.
Comic review fun times. There you go. So that's me. Very good.
You can actually see my pile now. You can see my portal. I didn't realize that. I'm just looking in the camera. You can see my portal. Okay. As we like to call it in the drink and draw, the magic portal that the comics come out of for the show. Let's see if I grabbed the right one. I did.
Oh, it's out.
This is me being cheeky, very, very cheeky, because this is a proof.
I was going to say it's not out yet.
It's not out yet. It's not out yet. I'm being very cheeky and promoting a book will be out in the next week or so, probably, maybe a bit longer. It's hard to tell. It's whenever the printer schedule, whenever the postie can get it to people and all that sort of jazz. So I probably shouldn't say a week or so. It's probably more than that. But yes, this is ComX Studios' first issue of Battle for Bustle.
I love that cover so much.
There it is there. Woo! Yeah. But yes, so that's why I've got a proof. That's the only reason I've got a proof. So I'm not special in some way that I'm getting proofs from other people's comics.
I think you are.
So I got to read this. And I loved it. Let's full screen it so I can show off some of the art. Let's get the camera where it should be.
Oh, here we go. Wow. Oh, nice. So cool.
Lovely. But yes, so this one's continuing the story for anyone else who's read 1, 2, and 3. There's the cover character. Hang on, I'll bring it back down so my ugly mug isn't filling the screen. Whose name I keep forgetting how to pronounce. There's Hanson, who's a big favorite. He's one with lots of guns. Hibiki, that's it. I always have to look it up to remember what her name is. I don't know if I'm spoiling it by saying that she's a she. I don't know if you're meant to know that. Sorry if I spoiled the thing.
We'll just forget you said that, and
just forget I said that. But Hibiki is this cool person.
Good cover up. Yeah. Everyone missed. You're sweet. You're gold.
Everyone missed what I said before.
Yeah.
Wipe it from your minds, people. Wipe it from your minds. And with really cool swords. I'll see if I can find a page with the swords. Because you can't quite see it in the cover. And I'm taking way too long to find swords. No, I'm not doing it. And they're like jagged. They sort of, they look like they do some serious damage if you got hit by one, that's for sure. You can sort of see in here in the corner is the sword. See how it's got the serrated edge type thing going
that's a sword. Okay, yeah.
That's a sword. That's
I thought it was part of
hand is covering
yeah.
it. That's two swords. One
Yeah.
either side, covered in blood.
And that's corn syrup, is it, or jam?
Oh yeah, corn syrup. Of course, jam.
Yeah.
Lots of jam.
She's getting ready to
the
make some toast.
person, they, it attacked
It's
a
a
jam
robot,
factory.
I think. I heard it was a robot.
Yes,
I heard
it was
there's lots
a
of robots in this issue.
Lots
like
of
just
robots in
chock
this
full of
one.
robots.
Yes.
Yeah.
And but it's a great issue. It's a great continuation of the story. If you like Lee's art or love it like I do, it's more and more, and you can actually see. I believe Lee took a long time to draw these. Like some of the art in the other books were from many, many, many moons ago.
Right.
They're not recently drawn, so you can actually see his art improving with each issue. So that's pretty cool. And just the way he draws stuff is just so cool. But it's not just that. The story, I love the story. It's that whole, like if you've read 1, 2, and 3, you know about the pedestrians, and that Christopher has started some sort of movement when he attacks that person who I forget what he's called, but he's higher up in the ranks than a pedestrian in society. And his attack is filmed, and his what do you call it? His arrest is filmed, and he just becomes a bit of a hero. And this is all about a secret movement that's been hiding outside the pedestrians' town, outside of Bustle, rescuing him, and the process of getting him where he needs to go so that he can. Hopefully, I'm guessing this is where it's going, so he can get this movement really happening and get the pedestrians, the lower people in society, back. I don't know if that's where it's going, but that's where I'm guessing it's going. Yeah. I don't know why else these people are helping him. But Hanson's helping him, and this is the guy with 1 million guns and 1 million hands. And he's an awesome character. It's just, well, 1 million might be a little too much, but he's got a lot of hands, and they all have a gun in them.
People don't need to read it now. They can just listen to your explanation of the series.
Well,
and then,
I didn't.
Wait.
You don't know what happens in this series at all. You don't know. I didn't say anything that happened in this issue except that people had rescued him, and that was in the previous issue that they actually did that. So,
and there is
I didn't give away
with swords. That could
the
be
only thing I gave away is there's a person with swords in this. That's the only thing I gave away.
Yeah.
And the cover gives that away. So I'm just talking about the cover. I totally went off on an angle there.
You got to give him a teaser.
I gave no taste. I gave no taste.
Just to hook him.
No teasers. I talked about the old issues because I've read them more thoroughly.
Very good.
No, but that's really cool. It's coming out soon. But yeah, I'm pretty happy that I've got a proof already. So I'm just going to show that off. Ha 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 ha! In your face, everyone else. So yeah, very mature of me.
Very good. And I will save my shameless self-promotion to next week.
Oh, nice. Actually, no, let's not. Let's do a shameless promotion right now with what about Script Rebellion? Whiplash? Which would you like?
Whatever you want. Pick your poison.
Whiplash sounds interesting.
It starts with a knock on my door at 3 a.m. Ginger and Man Mountain are standing there giving me the stink eye like I'm supposed to know who the hell they are. The little guy says something about Giant wanting to bring me in, and then it all gets a little too real.
Join
Now that's
the-
an actual book, isn't it?
That's a book. That the reason I had to put the book with the text there at the end is so people don't think it's a comic, because there is a comic coming, but I don't want to release it until issue 2's ready, so it's still in the pipeline. So I don't want people buying it and then thinking, "What's with all the words?" It's a novel. It's
I just thought I'd point that out. That
it's a novel.
Just for anyone who might have been, because there's a lot of
words
pictures
inside.
there, so it makes you
There
think.
Yes, I had all of those pictures commissioned just for a novel, because why not? It's a novel. There's 3 in the series that will be out this year. One's out. There's another 2 coming, and there's another one probably next year. I don't know how many there's going to be in there, but anyway, they're books. They're different to comics. But there's also a Kickstarter coming out next month, but we can talk about that next week.
Yeah, and I'm just going to go back to this one.
Where would they go to buy that, do you think?
Where would they
people
go to buy that? Well, at the
I
moment,
wonder.
you can get a PDF
Oh.
at
ComX Shop.
ComX.shop.
Yeah, man.
Well, there's an echo there.
Was there?
Yeah. It might be my end. Oh, it's gone now.
Or it was me just saying the same thing as you. As you.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. No, I could hear my voice, but I can't now. It's weird.
Ghost.
It could just be a thing in my ear. A bug repeating
A
everything
demon?
I say. A demon.
A-
Yeah. Maybe it's the
demon?
little guy who sits on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Demon on this shoulder, and then there's a worse demon on this shoulder.
Yeah.
And they give me advice.
Yeah.
Sometimes I listen to the demon, sometimes I listen to the worst demon. So yes.
Well, that's what conscience is all about.
Yes, definitely. Cool. Well, thanks, Morgan, for an awesome show. Thank you for covering my ass and asking lots of questions and having the audacity to draw something when I forgot to. How dare you? How dare you, you bastard?
There's
But,
always next week. Always next week.
It's always next week for me to forget. So, thank you very much. Is there anything more you want to say?
No, all good. Peace out.
All good.
Going back.
Peace out,
Lana
everyone.
Leuka.
Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and see you next AusComX Show time, AusComX Show channel.
Twice.
I'll get it right once.
Ciao.
I can see us all.